How's it going, everyone? We have some slightly rough news and also some roster moves coming with the Packers. About an hour ago, Tom Pelissero tweeted out that the Packers placed rookie running back Marshawn Lloyd on injured reserve and signed running back Chris Brooks off their practice squad. Marshawn Lloyd did injure his ankle in the game against the Colts. When asked about it afterwards, he said it was just a slight sprain, but it didn't feel too bad. He could still walk decently, but apparently the Packers felt like they should probably shut him down, put him on IR, designated to return, especially considering he was still coming back from a hamstring injury and now he has an ankle injury. So he's got a bit of leg injury. So it's best to just shut him down for at least 4 weeks and then let him rest, let him heal so he can come back and make a difference on this team later on in the season. And then as for Chris Brooks, who they signed him in week 1 onto the practice squad to try to shore up that depth at running back. And it looks like it's kind of paying dividends. And it looks like they also feel better about Chris Brooks more than Merriweather, who was called up in week 1 at running back, but actually played no snaps. So Chris Brooks was apparently ahead of Merriweather. So this next part of the video is going to talk more about Chris Brooks and his time in college and all the, more in-depth stuff. I did talk about it in the practice squad video when we signed him, but in case you missed it, that's what this portion will be for you. So Chris Brooks, he was out of college in 2023, went undrafted and signed with the Dolphins, came out of BYU, had a RAS score of 8.38, comes in at 6 feet and a weight of 232 pounds. He's definitely on the bigger side, but the Packers are listing him at 219. Did the bench press 21 times, had a 40-yard dash of 4.63, so not super fast, but he is definitely more of a bruising type and is a pretty physical running back type. Over on the PFF side, so he played 1 year with Miami and got some snaps. His main abundance of yards came from the game where Miami defeated the Denver Broncos, where they scored 70 points. So for the year, he had 19 attempts for 106 yards at a 5.6 yard per carry. Had an offensive grade of 82, a run grade of 79.1, a fumble grade of 77.1, and a run block grade, don't know why there's a run block grade, but a run block grade of 78.2. And the biggest one, which is interesting considering he ran for 106 yards, his yards after contact is at 107. His yards after contact is higher than his actual yards. Granted, it's 1 yard, but still very interesting to see. And he apparently broke a lot of tackles. He actually forced 9 missed tackles. So he's in a very small sample size out of 19 rushing attempts. He forced 9 missed tackles. Pretty good. For his time in college, he spent 5 years in college, 4 at California, and then his final year at BYU. So overall, in his 5-year career, he had a 5 yard per carry average, ran for 2,551 yards, and ran for 20 touchdowns. In his final year at BYU, he had 130 attempts for 817 yards, which was good for 6.3 yards per carry, and had 6 touchdowns while also adding 10 receptions for 98 yards. And for his draft profile coming out of college from Pro Football Network, his strengths, he is a nice-sized back with a versatile game, patient, quick-footed, and finds the running lanes, works, runs, does not go down without a fight, and keeps his feet moving. Displays a burst through the hole, gives effort blocking, solid pass catcher out of the backfield, which is good for the Packers. And as for his weaknesses, which I kind of find interesting, this is his weakness coming out of college, does not break a lot of tackles despite his size, cannot run to daylight, was more of a rotational back than the primary starter at BYU last season. Does not break a lot of tackles, but in his limited showing with the Dolphins, 9 forced missed tackles out of 19 carries and had 107 yards after contact when he ran for 106. So a little bit interesting there. Not sure how that's translated. And really the only reason he didn't make the 53-man roster with the Dolphins probably is because they have a loaded backfield, a very talented loaded backfield. So that's why he was in the practice field or with the practice squad with the Dolphins. But just coming out with a quick update on the new running back and also Marshawn Lloyd, unfortunately going to IR. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.